wonderful. It's marvelous. You should care for me.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's the Miss Saucy Sylvia Show.
It's awful nice. It's paradise. It's what I love to see.
Brought to you by Sakuchi Lincoln Mercury Honda, West Main Road at Browns Lane in Middletown, and the Sheridan Islander Inn on Goat Island in downtown Newport. And now, live from the Old Mug Lounge of the fabulous Sheridan Islander Inn, here's Saucy.
Thank you, dear. It's wonderful. You sound great. It's marvelous that you should care for me. Good afternoon, friends, and a very special Happy Hanukkah to all our Jewish friends. To life, l'chaim, 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 to life. If you've been lucky, then Monday was no worse than Sunday was. Drink l'chaim, to life, l'chaim, 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 to life. One day it's honey and raisin cake, next day a stomach ache. Drink l'chaim to life. Our great men have written words of wisdom to be used when hardship must be faced. Life obliges us with hardship, so the words of wisdom shouldn't go to waste. To us and our good fortune, be happy, be healthy, long life. And if our good fortune never comes, here's to whatever comes. Drink l'chaim to life. Everybody, 1, 2, 3, 4. To life, l'chaim. L'chaim, l'chaim, to life. Life has a way of confusing us, blessing us, bruising us. Drink l'chaim to life, l'chaim. L'chaim, l'chaim to life. A gift we seldom are wise enough, ever a prize enough. Drink l'chaim to life. God would like us to be joyful, even though our hearts is panning on the floor. How much more can we be joyful when there's really something to be joyful for? To life, l'chaim. L'chaim, l'chaim, to life. It gives us something to think about, something to drink about. Drink l'chaim to life. And a wonderful, wonderful song written by Ira Gershwin, music by Kurt Weill. My ship has sails that are made of silk. The decks are trimmed with gold. And a jam and spice, there's a paradise in the hold. My ship's aglow with 1,000,000 pearls, and rubies fill each bin. The sun sits high in a sapphire sky when my ship comes in. I can wait the years till it appears one fine day, one spring. But the pearls are such, they won't mean much if there's missing just one thing. I do not care if that day arrives. That dream need never be. If the ship I sing doesn't also bring my own. true love to me. My ship has sails that are made of silk. The decks are trimmed with gold, and of jam and spice there's a paradise in the hold. My ship's aglow with a million pearls, and rubies fill each bin. The sun sits high in a sapphire sky when my ship comes in. I can wait the years till it appears one fine day, one spring. But the pearls and such, they won't mean much if there's missing just one thing. I do not care if that day arrives. That dream need never be. If the ship I sing doesn't also bring my own true love to me. If the ship I sing doesn't also bring my own true love to me. Friends, last week I talked about Sakuchi Lincoln Mercury Honda and the fantastic red tag sale that is on out there. Now, this is on 1979 luxury cars. Well, I understand that there has been such a reaction. This sale is going to continue until December 31st. Now, if you go out to Sakuchi Lincoln Mercury Honda on the West Main Road, you'll discover some unbelievable savings on 79 luxury models in stock. Save on the Lincoln Versailles, the Lincoln Continental, and the Continental Mark V. Save as much as $4,000 on a 1979 Lincoln Town Car Demonstrator. Save as much as $3,500 on a 1979 Lincoln Versailles Demonstrator. See a 79 Mercury Marquis Brougham for just $74.95. And that's a saving of almost $2,000. A 1979 Cougar XR7 can be yours for only $59.95. Save over $1,100. All these 79 luxury cars carry a full 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty, and most are fully equipped. Go on out to Sakuchi. Look for the red tags and enjoy the savings on 79 luxury cars. But hurry, the red tag sale ends December 31st. Now this is all at Sakuchi Lincoln Mercury Honda, the West Main Road at Browns Lane in Middletown. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, our little traveling microphone, and over to chat with four fabulous people that are here from Seekonk and Williamstown. And they've been in for the weekend, and we've had a lot of fun with them in our nightclub show. We're going to talk to Joni Milbury and Don Milbury. Is this your first time down to Newport?
To Goat Island, yes.
To Goat Island. How do you feel about it all, Joni?
Fantastic. It's a beautiful place.
And you're having a good time.
Enjoying it very much.
Good. And we're talking now to Elaine and
Art,
and last name?
Berriman.
And that's Seekonk, right?
That's Seekonk, yes.
And you four people that look like you really know how to enjoy yourselves,
Well,
right?
we've known each other since college, and we get together once in a while like this for a weekend.
Isn't that
And
great?
we really love it.
That's great. Now, we've got some folks over here that have visited with us many, many times, and I don't think we've ever had them on our radio show. We're going to get their names right now.
Joe Raposa,
From
Swansea.
Swansea and
Celia Raposa from Swansea.
and
Louise Raposa from Swansea.
from Swansea. Thank you very much. And right now, a very, very special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman has been on our show many, many times, and he is the president of the Newport Cultural Foundation here in Newport. And all through the winter, as well as various times in the summer, he brings in some incredible people for special performances at various places around Newport, and all of these are people that are internationally known. And so it's always a great pleasure, and it's always a lot of fun because Mr. Jerry Bosgard, we call him Jerry Bosgard, always has a special scoop for us on this show. Jerry, hi.
How are you, Saucy?
Good. Tell me what's coming up. I know that when we see you, that there's something very special coming up for all the people that are lucky enough to be in this area.
Well, I'd like to preface what's coming up by telling you that I was at a Jewish funeral about a week ago, and one of the ladies present bawled me out because I wasn't having any concerts. It wasn't the right moment, but nonetheless, for that lady and for the rest of my friends in Newport, I'm bringing the Brooklyn Boys Chorus to St. Mary's Catholic Church this Thursday evening, December the 20th at 8:15 p.m. And you know, the Brooklyn Boys are very special to me. They've appeared 2 or 3 times before. They're 30 in number. They're primarily young black kids who get their vocal training almost completely on scholarship. And Leonard Bernstein has asked me and friends of the Brooklyn Boys, which I've recently formed, to develop an annual concert with them in Newport, and possibly even to bring them here for a residency where they might work with local children in choir.
Oh, that's an exciting scoop, I tell you.
Well, I'm thrilled about it. I don't have a family myself, so I've just adopted 30.
Now, Jerry, tickets. How about tickets? Now, this is for what, a week from Thursday?
A donation is respectfully requested of $5 for each adult, $2 for religious, children, and senior citizens. And if there's a larger family or a group, we'll absorb the cost of anybody who has more than 2 kids. We'll just let them in.
And can we go right to the door? Would it be better to reserve?
You can go to the door. Most people are. And for your audience, if they don't know St. Mary's Church, if they're not Catholic or haven't been there before, to me, and even though it's my parish, it is one of the most beautiful churches I've ever been in my life. It is the church where President Kennedy was married in 1953. It's the oldest Catholic church in the state of Rhode Island. And I think it's going to be just a beautiful combination, the boys, the church, and the people. Thursday night.
Well, you know, Jerry, I was there last Sunday night when they had a very special production directed by Rose Napoli called Christmas Around the World. And they had I think, one of the most interesting, touching, heartwarming productions. They had special songs from 10 different countries. They had the gifts from the 10 different countries. They had the costumes from the 10 different countries. And it was, you probably were there and saw it. And I think that they do such wonderful things at St. Mary's. I think it's a marvelous setting for the Brooklyn Boys Choir.
Well, it is indeed. And acoustically, it's a very fine church. The organ, which will be used for part of the concert, the rest will be accompanied by piano. It lends itself, and I'm very excited and very grateful to the pastor, Father McCarthy, and all my friends, the priests there, who have made this possible. And it's just it's going to be a very exciting evening. And I want to skip for a moment before I forget it. I'm sitting so much in admiration of Mrs. Integlia, and I do hope people will remember her great cause. But I want to mention to you, I did promise you a real scoop this morning.
You always do.
And if people want to make note, on Saturday, March the 29th, 1980, through the kindness of friends of mine here in Newport, the film actress Olivia de Havilland will come from Paris to Newport and appear and talk about her life for me.
Oh, and you heard it on this show. You heard it on this show. And I tell you, Jerry, we've had Tessie O'Shea, who has come over here from England and done such marvelous things, and now Olivia de Havilland. And how did this all come about?
I don't know. I'm still single. They're all after me. I mean, they just find out. That's all.
Well, this is what is one of the most exciting things about Jerry Bosgard. You just never know who he's going to bring on and who he's going to bring into Newport. We're lucky. Jerry, thank you very much for coming on this show today.
My pleasure, Saucy.
All righty. Jerry Bosgard. We're moving over to this to our back wall here and to talk with 2 people that are have been listening to the show. And your name is
Marion Kampmeyer,
Mary. Where are you from?
Newport.
Newport.
I hear you every Sunday.
Well, thank you. And you came over for the broadcast.
This is my first time to come
Oh,
over.
that's great. And who have you got with you?
My daughter,
Hi there.
Hi,
And what is your name?
Kathy.
Kathy, you from Newport too?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Now we're moving back to our broadcast just before, though. We have such a big crowd here today that we don't want to pass up anybody. Hi there.
Hi,
And where are you from?
Portsmouth.
Portsmouth. Could we have your names?
Yes, Clara Noons. And this is Emily Morgan and Emil Noons.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us for our show. We're going back now to our little piano, and we're going to talk about our very, very special segment. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing a melange of popular songs. We have chosen a group of songs, some old and some not so old. And without going in any particular direction, I thought that maybe we could say a little something about the song, talk a little bit about the artist or artists that did the songs, and then have some fun singing and playing them for you. Here is one song that was written way back in 1908, the only hit song by its author, Anita Owen. And it went like this. Daisies won't tell, dear, come kiss me, do. Tell me you love me, say you'll be true, and I will promise always to be tender and faithful, sweetheart, to thee. Ladies and gentlemen, the gay 90s. So many songs. I remembered from that period that it seems like every song written was a hit, but not really. There were literally thousands upon thousands of numbers written in the 90s, and actually relatively few songs from that period I remembered. Here is one from that period that has long been forgotten. One day a rich man called his pretty daughter to his side and said, "A wealthy friend of mine wants you to be his bride. Last night he spoke to me and I have promised him your hand. So when he calls, say you'll be his. Remember my command." The maiden said, "Why, father dear, I cannot be his wife, because I love another, yes, far dearer than my life." And when he sternly told her she must wed his choice instead, or else he'd disinherit her, she wept, but staunchly said, "Ha ha 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 ha. I'll marry the man I love. No other my hand shall claim. For I've given my heart to him, Dad, and someday I'll bear his name. Remember that gold can't buy or conquer a woman's heart, and I'll marry the man I love, Dad, though from you I part." Oh, that's sad. Not too many people remember that one, but here is one I'm sure that most of you have heard before. Written back at the turn of the century by Joe E. Howard, it was interpolated in the Chicago Midway scene in the Jerome Kern Oscar Hammerstein musical play Showboat in 1927. Sung there by Eva Puck and Sammy White. And that is why many people can remember the song. So, you're going away because your heart has gone astray. promised me that you would always faithful be. Go to him you love and be as true as stars above. But your heart will yearn, and then someday you will return. Goodbye, my lady love. Farewell, my turtle dove. You are the idol and darling of my heart, but someday you will come back to me and love me tenderly. So goodbye, my lady, lady love. When the dewdrops fall, 'tis then your heart I know will call. So beware, my dove, don't trust your life to some false love. But if you must go, remember, dear, I love you so. Sure as stars do shine, you'll think of when I called you mine. Goodbye, my lady love. Farewell, my turtle dove. You are the idol and darling of my heart, but someday you will come back to me and love me tenderly. So goodbye, my lady, goodbye. Everybody, goodbye, my lady love. Goodbye, my lady love. Farewell, my turtle dove. You are the idol and darling of my heart, but someday you will come back to me and love me tenderly. So goodbye, my lady love, goodbye. Goodbye, my lady love, goodbye. Moving into the 20th century, the songs in the early 1900s were much like the 1890s. Here is one song, words and music, by Paul Dresser, written in 1905. It was Dresser's last ballad and was successfully introduced in vaudeville by Louise Dresser. When Paul Dresser wrote this song, he had fallen on evil times. His publishing house had gone bankrupt. His ballads were no longer selling, and the fortunes that had made him very, very wealthy from his music he had squandered. He opened a little two-room office on 28th Street, determined to restore his fortune, insisting he was still capable of producing a major hit. His one-time friends, many of whom he had often wined and dined and at times even supported, were skeptical. But Dresser did have one more best-selling ballad up his sleeve. Unfortunately, he did not live to enjoy this success, dying just before it was on its way to become one of the great triumphs of his career, selling several million copies of sheet music. When Paul Dresser's biography was filmed, the title was the same as this song, and it was used as a recurrent theme. By the way, the movie was made in 1942 by 20th Century Fox and starred Victor Mature as Paul Dresser and with Rita Hayworth. I don't know if you folks will know the song by the verse, because very few people do verses. On this show, we do. Everything is over and I'm feeling bad. I lost the best pal that I ever had. 'Tis but a fortnight since she was here. Seems like she's gone, though for 20 years. Oh, how I miss her, my old pal. Oh, how I'd kiss her, my gal Sal. Face not so handsome, but eyes, don't you know, that shone just as bright as they did years ago. They call her Frivolous Sal, a peculiar sort of a gal, with a heart that was mellow, an all-round good fellow was my old pal. Your troubles, sorrows, and cares, she was always willing to share. A wild sort of devil, but dead on the level, was my gal Sal. Bought her little dainties just afore she died, promised she would meet me on the other side. Told her how I loved her, she said, I know, Jim, just do your best, leave the rest to him. Gently I pressed her to my breast, soon she would take her long last rest. She looked at me and murmured, pal, and softly I whispered, goodbye, Sal. Why they call her Frivolous Sal, a peculiar sort of a gal, with a heart that was mellow, an all-round good fellow was my old pal. Your troubles, sorrows, and care, she was always willing to share. A wild sort of devil, but dead on the level, was my gal Sal. Let's hear how they sing this song in Williamstown and Seekonk. They call her a peculiar sort, with a heart that was mellow, with a heart that was mellow, an all-round good fellow, my old pal. Everybody, your troubles, sorrows, and cares, she was always willing to share. A wild sort of devil, but dead on the level, was my gal Sal. Oh, what a wonderful crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sheridan Islander Hotel, right here on Goat Island. What a wonderful setting and what a wonderful spot on which to have your Christmas dinner. Christmas dinner right here at the Sheridan Islander Hotel from 12 o'clock till 9 o'clock on Christmas Day, with very, very a very, very special Christmas menu, including all the traditional goodies. So make your reservation, 849-2600. Christmas dinner at the Sheridan Islander Hotel on Goat Island. Paul Dresser wrote hundreds of songs from 1886 to 1905, but only 3 by Dresser were used in the movie. Several new numbers were contributed by Leo Robin and Ralph Ranger. Maybe Dresser's songs seemed too old-fashioned for 1942. But anyway, the movie probably was more fictitious than factual. Paul Dresser was born in Terre Haute, Indiana in 1857. He was the brother of famed novelist Theodore Dreiser and changed his name to Dresser upon beginning his musical career. His early education was at St. Maynard, studying for the priesthood. He left school a while he was still a teenager to become a black-faced comic in medicine shows and vaudeville. Another song by Dresser, and one of the 3 Dresser numbers used in the movie My Gal Sal, was Dresser's most popular ballad. Written in 1897, within 3 months of publication, it was heard throughout the country. In 1913, the ballad was adopted as the state song of Indiana. Round my Indiana homestead wait the cornfields. In the distance loom the woodlands clear and cool. Oftentimes my thoughts revert to scenes of childhood, when I first received my lessons, nature school. But one thing there is missing in the picture. Without her face it seems so incomplete. I long to see my mother in the doorway, as she stood there years ago, her boy to greet. Oh, the moonlight's fair tonight along the Wabash. From the fields there comes the breath of new mown hay. Through the sycamores the candlelights are gleaming on the banks of the Wabash far away. Yes, the songs of that period in our history, the so-called gay 90s, perhaps better characterized as naive, represented American life in a slow, casual, unhurried stage with emphasis on largely artificial sentimentality. Popular songs had to tell a story dealing with frustrated love and self-pity, with the waltz an almost automatic form of musical expression. The early years of the 20th century expressed a protest against such leisurely living and music, and our popular songs gradually developed the excitement of ragtime. Johnson flood, Mississippi mud, black bottom, I got 'em, Lindy hop, chop, 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 Charlotte Roos, turn on the juice, hep, hep, there goes the Johnson rag, ahoy, hoy, there goes the latest shag, ho, ho, it really isn't a gag, hep, hep, there goes the Johnson rag, jump, jump, don't let your left foot drag, jeep, jeep, it's like a game of tag, juke, juke, it's even good for a stag, jump, jump, and do the Johnson rag. Now if you're feeling in the groove, it sends you out of this world. Funny how it makes you move. I don't wanna coax, but don't be a mokes. Zig, zig, then add a zig, zig, zag. Zoom, zoom, just let your shoulders wag. Zoom, zoom, and now it's right in the bag. Get hip and get happy with the Johnson rag. I'm going to give you the words. Hip, hip, there goes the Johnson rag. Hoy, hoy. Hip, hip, there goes the Johnson rag. Ho, ho, there goes the latest shag. Ho, ho, it really isn't a gag or isn't a gag. Hip, hip, there goes the Johnson rag. Jump, jump, don't let your left foot drag. Jeep, jeep, it's like a game of tag. Juke, juke, it's even good for a stag. Jump, jump, and do the Johnson rag. Now, if you're feeling in the groove, it gets you out of this world. Funny how it makes you move. I don't want to coax, but don't be a moke. Zig, zig, then add a zig, zigzag. Zoop, zoop, just let your shoulders wag. Zoom, zoom, and now it's right in the bag. Get a hip and get happy with the Johnson rag. The Johnson rag, the Johnson rag. The Roaring Twenties. The jazz era was in. In music, well, very few details of American life escaped the attention of songwriters. They gave musical expression to the clothes we wore, the games we played, the slang we talked, the dances we danced, and what we ate and drank. Yes, in the 20s, they did it all. Here's a 1921 song by Irving Berlin, and introduced by the Bronx Sisters in the first edition of the Music Box Review, where it started as a preface to a large production number. It was sung by Bing Crosby in the motion picture Blue Skies in 1946. Soon you'll hear a tune that's gonna lift you out of your seat. It could be sweeter, but then the meter was written specially for your feet. Fly away up high upon a syncopated balloon. A little ginger will never injure. Hear them tuning up, they'll be playing soon. Everybody step to the syncopated rhythm. Let's be going with them when they begin. You'll be saying, yes, sir, the band is grand. He's the best professor in all the land. Listen to the pep that emerges from the middle of the jazzy fiddle under his chin. Oh, what music! The clarinetter could not be better. Hear that string? I don't know just what is, but it's great. They simply ruin it. Look at him doing it. Come, come, don't hesitate. Everybody step if you want to see a glutton when it comes to strutting over the ground. Wait till you see my little sweetie and me. Step, step, stepping around. Everybody step. Everybody step to the syncopated rhythm. Let's be going with them when they begin. You'll be saying, yes, sir, the band is grand. He's the best professor in all the land. Listen to the pep that emerges from the middle of the jazzy fiddle under his chin. Oh, what music! The clarinetter could not be better. Hear that string? I don't know just what is, but it's great. They simply ruin it. Look at him doing it. Come, come, don't hesitate. Everybody step if you want to see a glutton when it comes to strutting over the ground. Wait till you see my little sweetie and me. Step, step, steppin', step, step, steppin', step, step, steppin' around. Ladies and gentlemen, for our thought for the day, we would like to wish all of our Jewish friends a very special greeting on this time of the year, Hanukkah. Now, this year, Hanukkah began on Friday, December the 14th. It is called the Feast of the Candles. And although Hanukkah represents a military victory, it is a spiritual holiday. The word Hanukkah means dedication, and it is used because the temple was rededicated to God after it had been polluted by the Greeks. The Greeks who held sway over Palestine were intolerant. They wanted everyone to adopt their pagan religion. Some Jews were attracted to its superficial allurement, but most remained faithful to the God of their fathers. The banner of rebellion was raised in the small town of Bodin by the Hasmonean family. It was headed by a brave old man, Mattathias, and his 5 sons, who came to be known as the Maccabees. No one is quite certain as to the exact meaning of that title. The Maccabees were quickly joined by other patriots, and despite their inferiority in numbers, they were able to drive out the enemy, recapture Jerusalem, and finally re-establish freedom. The celebration of rededicating the temple lasted 8 days and was observed with lights, songs, and joyous celebration. If this had not taken place, Judaism would have been destroyed by paganism, and the world would have suffered more from its degeneracies. Thanks to the Maccabees and their followers, Judaism was saved. Had it not been, there would not have arisen Christianity. So Hanukkah should be important to our neighbors as well. And now, just a very, very special little thought for the day. A shul, spelled S-H-U-L, means a synagogue or a church. And here is a thought. Every time I pass a shul, I pay a little visit. So when at last I'm carried in, the Lord won't say, "Who is it?" I love to spend this Sunday with you. As friend of friend, our thanks to Moitza and Teglia, Mr. Gerald Bosgard, and all the wonderful folks here that have joined us for brunch. And our sponsors, Sakuchi Lincoln Mercury, Honda on West Main Road in Middletown, and the Sheridan Islander Hotel right here on Goat Island. To life, l'chaim. L'chaim, l'chaim, to life. If you've been lucky, then Monday was no worse than Sunday was. Drink l'chaim to life, l'chaim. L'chaim, l'chaim, to life. One day it's honey and raisin cake, next day a stomach ache. Drink l'chaim to life. What great men have written words of wisdom to be used when hardships must be faced. Life lodges us with hardships, so the words of wisdom shouldn't go to waste. To us and our good fortune, be happy, be healthy, long life. And if our good fortune never comes, here's to whatever comes. Drink l'chaim to life. To life, l'chaim. L'chaim, l'chaim, to life. Life has a way of confusing us, blessing and bruising us. So drink l'chaim to life, l'chaim. L'chaim, l'chaim, to life. A gift we seldom are wise enough, ever to prize enough. Drink l'chaim to life. God would like us to be joyful, even though our hearts are panting on the floor. How much more can we be joyful when there's really something to be joyful for? To life, l'chaim. L'chaim, l'chaim, to life. It gives you something to think about, something to drink about. Drink l'chaim to life. Thank you. Oh, you've been a wonderful audience.